Hi and welcome to Two Wheels Better on Granada Men and Motors, and we're at Mr. Fogarty's house looking at his leather gear, well, and other bits and pieces. Let's go top to toe, I think, or head to toe as it were, Carl. What have we got here? Your famous shark helmet. I know it's a helmet. But this is a new model, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I've used shark for the last 5 years, but the model's been a different one than this one. This is like based on like a car helmet, really. They call it like an Indy helmet. It's the car helmet with a little bit more of a viewing space because the car guys have such a like narrow visor. So I think it's a bit stronger. There's a few more vents in it than the old one, and yeah, they just put a new colour on it to go with the new shape, really.
Yeah, there's some very neat slits in the back here too.
Yeah.
Do these ventilators work?
Sometimes it depends, really. I think on a production helmet, it's more of a gimmick than anything else. But yeah, these work actually. Somewhere really hot, you'd notice the cool breeze coming through around your head. So yeah, it's nice to have that.
And just like the Formula One car drivers, you also use tear-off visors.
Yeah, got to use tear-offs everywhere, really. Just, for the bugs and flies and whatnot.
Is there? When I've seen close-ups of any Grand Prix driver, they seem to have at least half a dozen. But what's a typical number for tear-offs?
One for me, always, just one. That's it. Yeah, it's not so often I can't think of anywhere where it's got that bad. I've tore one off and then not been able to see it come end of a race. You sometimes don't even turn them off at all. I don't never put more than one on, to be honest.
Well, that's really interesting because I'm keen on Grand Prix racing, and you must have noticed they do have a bunch of them on, don't they? Because you can even see the air bubbles in them sometimes. So it must be all the dirt. They're sitting much lower, aren't they? But still, enough for car racing. We're not talking about that, are we?
Nope.
Next thing then, the leathers, the famous Dainese suit, and something new for this year. The old British bit, or rather, I should say, the English, the Cross of St George.
Yeah,
What's all that about?
Well, I'm English, aren't I? So I've got to have the English flag. I mean, it's something I'm very patriotic. I think I always get the message across that I'm from England and not from Britain. I think you don't see a Scottish guy with like a Union Jack on. He'll always have his own, the Scottish flags. And it's the same with me. I'm English, and I want the English flag. It's something I don't feel a lot of English people do enough of, to be honest. So
You're dead right. It's almost a rarity. So tell me, are you in favour of going into Europe?
No, I just want to stay away. Give that tunnel back in.
Right, we won't develop that one. But tell me about your leathers then. Just how special are they? I mean, they're another made to measure.
Yeah, obviously made to measure. Just obviously the main thing about them is all the body armour that's inside. I mean, you can hear it inside them, to be honest, on the elbows, shoulders, all the joints down at the knees, shins, everywhere really. Back protector in the back of them. Little bits like this, it's a bit harder there, for around the ribs and stuff. Just the protection that's in them, really. It's some air vents in the top there for open and close them for again hot weather. But as you can see, this suit's completely vented anyway. So I have all my suits like that. If it's cold, I'll put a t-shirt underneath or something. If it's not, then I'll just wear nothing underneath, really. They're a lot safer than what they used to be. I mean, that's because of probably the body armour, to be honest. You get set leathers 10 years ago, there would be nothing inside. I'd be like a pair of overalls on, but they're a lot better now.
Well, I was going to ask you about that actually, because changing in temperatures, I mean, I read it was 42 degrees down in Phillip Island there. I mean, that's pretty hot, isn't it? And so I wondered what you actually wore underneath in those sort of temperatures. Very little, I reckon. Yeah,
I just wear a little vest, my little green vest for me. Yeah. It brings me good luck. We're supposed to. Just to soak up the sweat, really. If I didn't wear anything, I'd be rubbing against me quite a lot. So if it's really cold, raining, I'll wear like a t-shirt with a high neck underneath, or something like that.
Not actually a light thermal gear then?
Some do. Some wear thermal long johns. Neil Hodgson does. That's his give his secret away. He wears thermal long johns.
I don't blame him.
But no, I'm quite tough, so I don't need anything like that.
And what about if it's pouring down with rain? You got all these little perforations.
This is actually a wetsuit here. This is the top part. There's a bottom part, but I've lost it from home. I can't find it. But it's really tight. This thing goes over the leathers. It's like really, really straight.
I can just see you in that car. Why isn't it in red?
It's better if you get the wife in it, actually. But I don't know. I don't really wear them, to be honest. Some do, some don't. I might wear it for practice, but I won't wear it for a race because I'll have 2 or 3 sets of leathers anyway. So if I get one set, then wet through, then it doesn't matter. I'll use the other set for the next race if it's dry and the other. Let it dry out.
I suppose you're going so fast anyway, you don't get very wet. But seriously, I mean, do your leathers actually get soaked through? I mean, have you had that horrible soggy set of leathers?
Oh, yeah. Many a time, you know. But like last one was the first round in Phillip Island was wet, but it wasn't actually raining that hard when we're out there on the bike. So, but they'll dry out. They'll dry out within a day or so.
Yeah.
So it's not so bad.
So you're not bothered.
No, we've got 4 more sets.
I see your knee sliders were coming for some use down there. And so, how many sets of knee sliders do you get through?
Well, just one every race, to be honest. Yeah. Sometimes depends on track. Sometimes you wear them out quicker than other tracks. You know, I could go somewhere. Even Misano, when I've been there before, I can use the same set the whole meeting. Strangely enough, I don't know why, but some circuits I'll change one after each race. Yeah. Obviously, more on the right hand side because that's all the circuits are clockwise.
What do you do with the old ones? Are they a bit of a collector's item? Is there a market in Carl Fogarty Nils?
Yeah, just throw a lot away, but obviously a lot of people want them. You know, usually after a race meeting there'll be some kids that want them signed in and stuff. Just give them to them. It's no problem.
Okay. What about these gloves? Very fancy, moulded knuckles as well.
Trickiest pair of gloves you'll ever see. If you want to buy a set, they'll cost you about £375. They're actually going on sale to the public now, so you can have exactly the same gloves as what I use. But it's just like I wish I'd have had these. Like as you can see my knuckles. I wish I'd have had these sort of 5 or 6 years ago. I could have done with them then. But yeah, it's just technology. It's just got to this now. And it's just saves your knuckles, to be honest.
What are they like to wear? I mean, I'd like to put a pair on, but my hands are too big for them anyway.
Perfect, absolutely perfect. Just you wouldn't even know they're there. They're just really, really soft, fit really well. You know, and, it's kind of moulded slightly at an angle anyway. So when you're on the bike, it makes it even more comfortable when you just sort of like that. To be honest.
Yeah, and you've had you haven't used a pair of these in a tumble yet, have you?
I have, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. I've scraped and scuffed all these on the old sets, so I can only think that's it saved me knuckles from getting broken and stuff. You know.
Nice new pair of Alpine Star boots. Your favourite, Carl? These don't look as though they've been very scuffed or used. No,
obviously a new set. I haven't used them yet. They changed them again this year. The last 2 or 3 years have been the same, but they've changed them this year. Gone for more sort of harder shin pad piece. So it's like carbon fibre. Very strong around the ankle. If you like got a high side or something, you come down, land on your feet, your ankle will stay pretty much straight. And that's what happened in Japan. And they saved my ankles having these boots. So definitely very, really strong. Toe sliders there for obviously when some people use them, some don't. I tend to go through these quite regularly. You know, I ride with my toes right at the end of the footrest, so I do knock them off quite a lot. And just some events though, which actually do work. I've noticed in Australia, the wind coming through here and then going right out the back there. I must have had this thing open, and my feet were freezing.
What's that? Is that it got an electric motor on? Is that a fan?
Vent that you actually open and close.
But they really do work. Just look at this.
There we go.
Super trick. I would have thought.
You feel the wind blowing right through. I mean, somewhere like again Malaysia, where like your feet do get hot on the bike and that next to the exhaust pipes and stuff, and somewhere in Malaysia where it's hot anyway. You know, the humidity. It just helps have some nice fresh air circling around your feet. It's even probably for you, Jeff, if you got a bit sweaty feet, like you know.
What are you implying? The rest of this boot, Carl, it's got so many plastic bits on. Do you know what it is? I mean, is there any leather on it, or is it this new Lorica stuff?
No, what it is, it's definitely leather in it. You know, inside there's leather, but it's like a Kevlar-y sort of. I think the silver stuff is leather, but the black is like a mixture of leather and Kevlar. And this, I don't know, this is like has some sort of gel inside it. This stuff here. So you can tell them obviously very well up on them and what they're made out of and everything. This is like a plastic scraper for, again, different riding styles. Some guys will ride with it, toes on the end of the footrest and actually scrape it on the floor, you know, which I don't. I just scrape the toes, me. But
well, some of the guys they need knee pads on their elbows if there's such a thing.
Mainly I think a lot of sort of little riders, 250, 125, do more of this sort of wearing out than what you do on big superbikes and that really. But there you go, the whole gear.
Right, well thanks very much for giving us the rundown on your wardrobe, or at least part of it. And when Michaela comes back, perhaps you could slip this little number on, would you mind?
I don't think she'd mind for you, Jeff, a little private show for you.
Thank you.
So what's this then? What we're going to get a lesson on today? Not this.
Why not then?
Well, we've done this before, hard luggage. We've had a lecture off you on hard luggage, don't need any more.
Food, you haven't I?
Know all about it now.
Because actually it's not, I'm just using it as a vessel.
Oh.
And in here I've got a bit of everything.
Right. I thought I was going to get a sandwich or something then.
No
Get your
chance.
flask out, you know.
No chance. You asked me a few weeks ago about brake pads.
I did, and I haven't got them yet.
No.
No.
Well, you haven't shown me any colour of your money like.
Well, I don't know what to buy. There's so many to choose from.
Well, there
different
is.
grades,
Very
different things, you know.
Well, let's just educate the viewers. The truth being is, everybody assumes that they've got brake pads because it's disc brakes on the bike. Well, there's drum brakes for custom bikes and smaller commuter bikes. Anchors that you pitch over your shoulder if it's a very, very old machine.
Yeah, I've had some of them, yeah.
So there's all sorts.
So that's drum brakes. We're talking brake shoes, aren't we? Not...
That's right. There we are. A pair of shoes.
brake shoe. Oh, very good. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
no, there we go.
brake shoes.
Brake
Right.
shoes, right.
In this case, manufactured by Betws-Y, Japanese original equipment. Then you get your aftermarket people who produce them. This is one of them, EBCs. They're all very much the same brake shoes. There's big and little ones. Fact being is you haven't got much of a choice. But on the subject of choice, you've got an awful big choice when it comes to disc pads. Major manufacturers such as AP Racing, that's Lockheed, and then you've got Dunlop pads. They're quite an infamous one. Vedra again, original equipment. Ferodo, British manufactured ones then. And EBCs again, loads, and many more. You've got your infamous Italian stuff that they put on the Ducatis and things with your Brembos.
But you've got, I mean, all right, different makes, but within the same make, you've got different grades, haven't you, of brake pad
Very often.
that
yes,
will change
very
the braking on your bike.
Yeah, depending on the purpose of the user. I mean, if you're riding a CBR 900RR and you ride like a barn pot, then you're going to need brakes that work when they get hot and work very, very well. If you're a commuter, you don't want hard ones because they never get to working temperature, so you need softer ones. There is a variation available. You've just got to ask your dealer what you can have, but more often than not, unless you're using it in extreme circumstances, you really should just go for the one that they supply over the counter.
Right. Okay. Discs.
Yeah, well, see, it's another point. People see you change your brake pads often.
It's not always the pad that's the problem.
Absolutely, you're right. Discs wear out, you know, and then there's varying types of discs. I've just got one here for you. This is a Sole Survivor's disc.
That's very nice, that, yeah. It's like something off a trials bike, actually, yeah.
Yeah, they're the size of trials bike
right,
discs,
yeah.
and this is a big one. And the reason I've got this is just to show you, just going off the subject a little bit. This has had an actual lock on it, a disc lock on it, and the guy's rotated his wheel, forgot to take his disc lock off. Bing, and that's 180 quid worth of disc. So if you do use a disc lock, just remember to set the chuffing thing off before you set off, because it can be highly embarrassing and very costly.
That one's not bad though, I mean, wear-wise.
Wear-wise, this is quite good. It's a good example, and that's why I was even more disappointed, because it's not due for a change. They wear down, and they have a thickness, in this case 4mm indicator. Some lads will get them right down to wafer thin, and dangerously so. It doesn't. The efficiency of the stopping is reduced by 50% if the disc gets low, because the pad gets hot, and you get them with scores in them. And if your disc is scored, never expect the bike to stop. It just won't. Things don't work. So have a good look at your disc before you you swap your brake pads.
Right. I mean, brake pads, I don't mind doing pads. It's an easy job. It's a half-hour job to swap your pads. But it's getting the bloody old ones out.
Yeah, that's often a problem.
Getting them pins out.
The pins out, yeah.
What a pain.
Well, I can't really advise anyone on that. I mean, you've got to give it a good snotting with a hammer, really, I suppose. But what you do is, you remember for next time, prevention's better than cure. Get a bit of lubricant, copper slip.
On the pin,
on
push
the pin,
it in.
and you stick it in. There's silicone greases you can put behind the pad, so in the bad weather, your actual piston isn't going to seize up. Lubricant and take care,
Right, good stuff. I mean, they look a very basic thing. This, I mean, this,
oh no.
It looks very, very basic, doesn't it?
It's in a nice little blister pack,
well,
and you think nothing about how it's produced. But I tell you what,
a lot of money for a little bit of.
There's a lot of research, Paul. A lot of research and development goes on it, and production of that is quite an involved thing. In fact, we're going to have a little trip out.
Oh, goody.
Oh yes, and we're going to the Ferodo factory. It's quite a way.
Where they make these?
Oh, it's a long way away in an exotic location.
Is it?
In the deepest dark Derbyshire.
All right.
But we're going on a little trip out. We'll be like a fly on the wall, and we'll show you how they produce brake pads.
Every Sunday afternoon, lots of bikers gather here in Betws-Y-Coed. It's a great meet place. I don't know why. I guess it would be because of the roads. I mean, there's some great roads to drive up here. Everybody seems to meet outside Dill's diner here, and here's the man himself. Dill, Wynn, tell us, why do you think everybody comes here to meet?
Well, first of all, they like the roads here. You know, the good bends, the A5 and the back roads through Llanrwst, and we serve them. Yeah, because there's lots of cafes that don't serve bikers, and we've been serving bikers now for a good 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah, you've got no problems about,
we've
you know,
never had
some
a
people
problem.
are worried about bikers scaring off other customers. You're not worried about anything like that?
Well, you can see now that they're all outside and the cafe's empty for my families and yeah, and the pensioners we get here, so, you know, they're very good to us.
How far did they come from?
Well, I've had bikers from Morecambe, Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool, and all these local bikers, Anglesey and all that. You know, they were all over the place. Even from Cardiff, you know, they come up for the day. So it's a few miles.
So Dill's Diner is nationally famous.
Well, I think so. Fair play. They're very good with the staff, and you know, they treat us well.
Yeah.
You know, they respect the young staff I employ, and we get to know them. Yeah, and we go on first name terms, with some of them, yeah, because there's too many of them. You know, so
How many people do you get? How many bikers come down here
on
every
a nice
Sunday?
day, it's, you know, they come and go. You know, so I can say 200, 500. They come and go. So they, you know, so I can't give you a true figure. Yeah, we're too busy serving them. You know, so.
Yeah. So what's the biker's favourite dish?
The bacon sandwich.
Tim Holland runs a project called On the Right Track. Tim, I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about the project.
Right, sure. Basically, On the Right Track was formed 3 years ago and designed to keep youngsters from the drugs culture. So we looked at projects, and of course motorbikes are therapeutic for one thing, and the adrenaline rush, so we thought, right, we'll build motorcycles. We asked around and we had a tremendous response from young people. And now we build very high-tech motorcycles. They learn new skills all the while. They learn to work as a team. And the products are really superb, fantastic. I'm having fun as well.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, we've restored sort of ZX9s, which are the Kawasaki's, big Suzuki's, 1200s. They're all modern motorcycles, and we get a tremendous amount of help from the motorcycle world in Great Britain. All the companies, you know, sponsor us. It's tremendous. Without their help, we couldn't do it. And Dill helps me as well, you see. There's a plug for Dill. Yeah, he helps me a lot.
So how long have you been riding yourself?
Well, I'm 53 now, and I've been riding since I was 16.
Yeah.
And enjoying every minute of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And perhaps you could introduce me. This is your daughter,
Claire,
I believe.
my daughter.
Hello, Claire. Hi. And you're into bikes as well?
Yeah.
You haven't got a bike of your own yet?
No, I just go on the back.
Go on the back. Yeah. What about, so will you be getting one of your own, you think?
Hope
One of these
so,
days
yeah.
soon?
Hope so.
What's your favourite kind of bike?
Kawasaki's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only ones I've been on, apart from Suzuki, so.
Do you help your dad to restore them?
Yeah, it's good fun.
We have a whole crowd of Bangor people here, all the way from Bangor in North Wales to Betws-Y-Coed in North Wales. The naughty boys from Bangor, is that what they call you? Yeah? So say hello from Bangor.
Hello. Hello from Bangor.
Martin, come here and talk to me. He's such a smoothie, Martin, aren't you?
Yeah. Don't say that on camera.
He's such a smoothie. So where's your bike then? What have you got?
G6 600.
And what brings you over here?
The chicks.
And
The bikes.
You said it was the sunshine.
Yeah, no, the bikes it is, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you come down here every Sunday?
Well, when we can, yeah.
Yeah. You like the roads and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful part, yeah.
Yeah?
Nicest part of the country.
Yeah? How long does it take you to get here from Bangor?
About 3 minutes.
Ballistic first.
I don't know, to be honest. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, yeah.
Yeah?
Don't tell the police that, though.
No, okay then. So when you come up here, do you meet up with lots of people?
Yeah, as you can see, it's packed here all the time.
Yeah. You met anyone interesting while you've been over here?
Apart from you.
Present company, exactly.
Yeah. You know, it is very, very popular place, yeah.
Probably once it goes out on Sky Dill's Diner, then you'll probably
Yeah,
find him here.
yeah. Probably find a few more here, you know, after it's been on TV, yeah.
Yeah. So you come down here for Dill's Bacon Butties?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot.
So, Rod Evans, you've come down from Bangor today on this beautiful Honda. Is this yours?
No, no.
Tell me whose bike this is.
Well, it's Vernon's bike, you see, but he's on holiday, so he's going to have a slight surprise.
Does Vernon know that you're out on his bike while he's on holiday?
Sort of.
Where's he gone?
He's gone to the Canaries.
Ah, right. But well, he'll be quite surprised then to see his bike on television when he gets back.
Probably
It's
pig
probably the last,
sick.
it'll probably be the last time he sees it.
He'll be jealous then that he missed his chance
Oh,
at
he'll be
stardom.
more than jealous.
So, Vernon, you've got a great bike. We love it. It's a shame we missed you. The thing about bikers is that they always like to think, well, we're a little bit different from everybody else. Isn't it weird that people who like to be different from everybody else like to gather at every opportunity with lots of other people who are exactly the same as them? I've always thought that was a bit odd. What do you reckon, John?
It's like the bikers stick together. You know, wherever bikers hang out, you'll find other bikers, you know. We're our own crowd. We mix. We don't bother nobody else, you know. We just come out for a peaceful time.
Yeah.
We like to be left alone.
Now, I know you all come from Colwyn Bay, further along the North Wales coast. Do you come here every weekend?
Yep, rain or shine. We've come here in absolute throwing it down. We enjoy it here. We enjoy the scenery. We enjoy everybody's company. It's a good place to be.
Yeah. Now, I know, Julie, you're on the back riding pillion with John. What's your bike?
It's GS 550.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I really do. And hopefully, in the next couple of years, I'd like to go for my own. I'd like to. Whether I can make it, but I'll have a good go.
Yeah, a bit of girl power, that's what we need.
Yep.
Yeah. So I know you're saying that it's great because you can come here and you get served, you get coffee and stuff like that, and you find that there's quite a lot of places which who refuse to serve you. Why do you think that is?
They just look at you as if you're outcast. Well, we're as good as anybody else. We're a good crowd, more so than other people. And they just seem to turn you away. You're not allowed in certain pubs, you're not allowed in certain cafes, just because of the way we look. Well, I think that's wrong. I mean, we've got as much right as anybody else has. I mean, and if they really sit down and talk to us, they'll get to know us and they'll find we're a good bunch.
I know you've been doing quite a bit of work for charity. You've been doing quite the pet food run. Tell us about the pet food run.
Yeah, it's every first week in May. It's pet food run, which goes from Wrexham through to Colwyn Bay. And everybody brings cat food or dog food, and it goes up to the local shelter for charity to keep them going.